Hi there, I am Sarah Colas. Welcome to the Dressing Up podcast, where we talk about all things bridal, dresses, and general dressing up topics. I love to encourage women to dress up while expressing their personal style with confidence on how to do so. Visit sarahcolas.com to book a bridal alterations fitting or even inquire about designing the custom couture bridal gown of your dreams. I'm so excited to talk to you about this next topic. Let's get started. Welcome to the Dressing Up podcast, where we delve into the fascinating world of personal style and fashion with your host, me, Sarah Colas. I'm thrilled to have our special guest, Amber Frankhuizen, on today from the Old Money podcast joining us. Thank you, Amber, for being here.
Sarah, I'm so excited to chat with you today, talk all things fashion style. You're the expert, so I'm so excited.
This will be a fun blend of conversation, I think, because we're both
Absolutely
experts in our own ways. So I've been listening to Amber's podcast from the very beginning, right when it came out, and I've been enjoying it so much. I have to say, it's like such a unique blend and twist on some typically very boring subjects, I think, like budgeting and net worth, investing, just all the money talk. But you do it in such a feminine way that's more interesting to me. And I love that.
Such a compliment. Thank you so much. I work really hard to make things make sense. Even in my day job, I run a creative agency and a marketing agency, and we're talking with a lot of business owners. And if you throw things like CPL and LTV and all these different acronyms at people, they shut down. So it's like, how can we make things real and easy to understand and analogize them? So I appreciate that feedback so much. Thank you.
Yes, you're welcome. So yeah, Amber, go ahead and tell us a little bit about yourself.
Absolutely. So I am a CEO. I founded a creative agency. It's called AF Marketing, and we specialize in branding, web, social media, all that fun stuff, all that sexy marketing stuff. And we do a lot of work in real estate development, which is what my background was in. So I was previously vice president of sales and marketing at a real estate development firm here in San Diego. And when I tell you, like, I did everything right. I got good grades. I went to college. I climbed the corporate ladder. And then I was like, I got to jump off. Like, this is horrible. It was so much pressure. I was in a role that was really big, lots of responsibility for my level of experience. And I was totally burnt out. I was sick, physically sick. I was mentally unwell. I was just really having a hard time. And so in that process, I realized I'm going to have to make a change, because I was interviewing at other real estate development agencies and thinking, okay, if I just move jobs, I'm going to have the same challenges. I'm going to need to take a break and recalibrate. So I started, making six figures. By the way, I'm totally in debt at this time, of course. And I'm like, I've got to make some major changes so that I can figure out what's next. So I started aggressively saving. I changed my whole lifestyle around. I got a roommate. I stopped going out. I, ended my gym membership, started working out on my own. All these little things, I paid off my debt. I made some real big lifestyle shifts so that I could save some money to let go of this job, let go of the golden handcuffs, and give myself some freedom, right? And so I was really going through personal finance boot camp during this time, reading all the books, figuring out what felt best. And I found that there was nothing out there that spoke to me. I had people yelling at me like, debt is terrible. Like, how dare you be in debt? And I'm like, are you out here, bro? Like, it's hard. And also the pressures of being in such a challenging role. I was like eating out every night, going out, entertaining clients or coworkers, or even just so exhausted, I would order in Chipotle every single day. So I quit my job and I had money saved, and I was like, you know what? I'm just going to rest. I'm going to figure it out. And by the grace of God, a couple months later, my phone started ringing and somebody said, could you help me with this project? And I said, okay. And then I was like, oh, shoot, I think I need to open a business bank account, and maybe I should come up with a name. And so it kind of spiraled very quickly. And then another person called and then did good work for them. So I started doing everything for the agency. It was just me as a freelancer. And I was just working in my tiny little apartment on an ironing board every day, typing away, trying to make stuff happen. And I realized, like, holy cow, I'm making money. I'm printing money by just being myself and using my brain, and it's just happening for me. And it really shifted my paradigm about money. In that process, I started earning more, and then I started scaling the business, bringing people on, paying them salary, paying myself salary, navigating it all. And that's really the crux of how we came to Old Money. It's like, the things that our parents were taught, things that they taught us, they don't apply anymore. How are we going to forge our own way, survive in this economy, and then also make a great life for ourselves? Because it's not just about stacking cash in the bank for me, it's about living well while we're on this journey.
Wow. Yeah, that's really cool to see how you came out from the other side almost. Like you put the work in, you proved that it works, and now you're teaching others. Fabulous.
Yeah. And one of the things I have to say too is, I've gone through some things and some people have really challenging financial situations. And I think what happens a lot is there's a lot of shame and emotion around
Yeah.
having debt or, figuring out how to earn more. And my goal in all of this is just to erase that for everybody. Like we're all figuring it out. There's a lot of information out there and it's okay to not be perfect with your money as long as we're, taking steps to do better. I think that's a great place to be.
Yeah. Wow. Yeah, I think this is all very important stuff for women to think about and discuss, and you're doing a great job of that. So thank you.
Thank you.
But something I'm dying to ask you about is about your recent engagement, which I heard all
Yes.
about it on your podcast. But congratulations.
Thank
And
you.
I know this is a terrible thing to ask newly engaged couples, but I must know, are we doing an old money wedding?
I love that question, actually. It's so funny because we got engaged, and thank you so much, by the way, for all of your well wishes and support. It means the
Mhm.
world. But we got engaged right before Christmas on December 23rd. And so we were like, just through the holidays, we're really going to like enjoy this and not talk about plans. And then the new year rolled around and we're like, okay, we're just going to stretch this out to the end of January. Like
Yeah.
we're just going to enjoy January.
Yep.
And then
Yep.
February 1 rolled around and we're like, should we start talking about what we're doing here? So to be honest,
Good plan.
we're very flexible in our plans and we don't have any yet. The only
Yeah.
thing we're focusing on right now is an engagement party, which I do
Oh,
want to be
so
more
fun.
traditional and a plated dinner with our closest friends and family. But with our schedules, it's looking like it's going to be in like September, October. So we'll celebrate our engagement in 9 months.
Yeah. Okay. Sounds great. Oh
Yeah.
man. I don't know what it's like by you, but I know our couples around here, it's really hard to enjoy the engagement process because if you want a wedding in Metro Detroit over 100 people, like you're looking at least a year and a half out, if not
Right.
2 years. So it's like,
Yeah.
but maybe it's better by you. I hope so.
No,
So that'll be great.
it's the same story here. So I
Yeah.
think brides everywhere are dealing with that
Yeah.
challenge. And I didn't know this, but I figured out recently since we were engaged during holiday season that that's engagement season where so
Mm-hmm.
many people get engaged. So I think there was
Mm-hmm.
a rush on everything as well. So
Yeah.
it'll be interesting when we start planning, but we're definitely looking a little bit farther out. We have the
Yeah.
luxury of time.
Yeah, yeah, that's good. I've heard from venues, like from wedding venues, that the first week of January, they get so many phone calls. It's like boom, we're hitting it. Like first of the year, people are starting to plan post holiday season. But yay,
Yeah.
that's so exciting. That's fabulous. So one question I ask all my guests is
Mhm.
what is your favorite item in your closet right now?
Oh my gosh, that's such a good question. I have a new favorite item, and it's something I never thought I would say, but I invested in a really great designer belt.
Ooh,
And
okay.
it has elevated everything that I wear so simply. It's just a black belt, YSL. It's got the tiny little
I love
emblem
it.
on it
Yeah.
and great leather. And it's not shiny gold. I like matte gold. In fact, my ring is matte gold as well. So I like something that's a little antiqued.
Yeah.
And it's just like I'm putting on a pair of slacks from Banana Republic and a black t-shirt. I put that belt on though, and I look like $1,000 more expensive, you know?
Yeah, that's
It ties it
awesome.
all together. And I'm typically challenged with accessories, honestly. Like I dress very plainly, but that for me has been a big upgrade in my wardrobe recently.
Oh, that's such a good answer. I love that. Okay, so let's get back to more fashion related topics.
Yes.
So, tell me more about your personal journey with fashion and how it's evolved over time. Tell me a little bit about your personal style.
Absolutely. Well, I was raised by a very traditional classic mom. She, like one of my first memories of my mom was just seeing her Louis Vuitton bag in the checkout line at the grocery store. She always carried a Louis bag. She was a real estate agent. That was like her brand. Like she loved it.
Hmm.
And she always wanted to dress me very formally and very preppy. And I was such a tomboy when I was younger. So I wanted to wear like bike shorts and big t-shirts. And she was putting me in dresses with itchy socks. And it's so funny because, going in this full circle, I'm totally back to my mom's style, like how she dressed when she was my age, which is so funny, which is
Oh,
very, just a lot of neutrals, a lot of matching sets, and then also just classic cuts. So I think you and I, Sarah, share a lot of the same philosophy on fashion, which is,
mhm.
finding beautiful materials, looking for things that are quality, that are made properly or fit us properly. And then when you have these pieces, they last you forever. You are not going through fast fashion and you're going to feel amazing every time you put them on. So I've been working through, it's definitely not a capsule wardrobe, but I definitely have my core pieces that I've been really investing in over the last few years. I'm buying less clothes, but I'm wearing them more. And for me, my fashion has just become uniform. I've got mules, like slides that I love, very comfy around the house, but also looks polished enough for a business meeting.
Mhm.
I'm usually doing like a high-waisted cropped jean with like a little bit of a, I don't want to say a bell bottom at the, but it kind of flares out at the
Yeah.
bottom.
Hmm.
Sometimes a little Audrey Hepburn looking classic vibe,
Yes.
a belt, a shell top, and then a blazer over the top of it. And I just kind of intermix all of those things. And I never really have to think too hard about what I'm wearing.
Yeah. So clean but also professional. I love that. That's
Yeah, and
great.
comfortable. And
Yeah.
I'm in San Diego, so it's very casual here. So it's harder to get dressed for business and not be overdressed. There's this like fine line to walk of, nobody's wearing like stiletto heels or anything like that here. You can't wear like
Really?
a
Okay.
really polished two-piece suit. It's just kind of out of the norm. And also, I work a lot in real estate development, so I'm working with a lot of guys in chambray shirts and jean t-shirts. You know what I
Yes.
mean? So
Yes. Interesting. Okay.
yeah.
Yeah. Oh, that's great. What are your thoughts on the old money fashion style?
Yeah, it's so funny because this is such a trend right now, right? And
Hmm.
I get jumped on that trend 100%. And it hit me in the shower one day, the name of the podcast and what I wanted to do, because I had just seen this, especially early in 2023, just old money aesthetic was everywhere.
Hmm.
And I was like, why are people obsessed with this? Like, what is it about old money? And number one, it's obviously aspirational. Everybody thinks it would be lovely to have a trust fund and just do nothing all day.
Yeah, it must be nice.
Sounds great. And, there's this, kind of boarding school, prep school life, dressing really well. But for me, with old money, it's so much more about classicness and being polished and why does everybody want old money aesthetic? Again, the aspirational aspect, but it's just classic. And especially this is really interesting, in harder economic times, you probably know this too, we see on the runways less labels, less gold, less color, things go more neutral. So like the Row or Celine, very popular right now. We don't see a ton of people flashing Versace. You see that more in great economic times. Like we saw a lot of that during the Bitcoin boom, right? Like everybody was flashing their wares. And then when things get a little bit more austere, it's kind of dialing it back a little bit. And I kind of think that's where old money comes in. It's not about being flashy, it's about understanding quality, it's about investing in quality. They talk about it in the terms of quiet luxury, which is having great pieces that aren't super labely, that are going to look great no matter how you wear them. Like there's nothing that beats a great cashmere sweater. There's not going to be a label on it, but you can tell from a mile away that that's quality and it's going to make you feel good. You're going to look good in it too.
Wow, that is so interesting, the parallels you drew with the economy. Oh my goodness.
Mm-hmm.
I love
Yeah.
all of that. I think the old money fashion style too is very country clubby, like you were kind of mentioning the like quiet luxuries, and also slightly less casual too. Just not
Yeah.
wearing the leggings, but instead wearing the jeans. And kind of, I guess your style would be that
Yeah,
too.
yeah, I think so. And one of the things that I always think about, like I used to, and this is goes into the personal finance too, right? It's people might have this like frugality mindset of, well, I have this ratty old pair of sweats and this t-shirt, I can wear this to bed. And yeah, you absolutely can, but you're probably not going to feel your best when you put it on or when you wear it at night. And then also, I think part of that, feeling good is being prepared for anything. And, I'm visible in town. I walk my dog like 4 times a day. I know all my neighbors. So I don't want to go out in ratty sweats and not feeling good about myself. You never know who you're going to meet and run into, and you want to feel ready for anything. And so just about putting a little bit of extra effort in to feel polished so that you feel confident. It's not about signaling to other people. It's all about how you feel. So I'm a big believer in investing in a great pair of PJs, letting go of, the older stuff that's kind of had its heyday, and feeling really good about everything you put on.
Yeah. Oh my gosh, I could not have said it better myself. I love that. It's about how you feel and
Yeah.
about the confidence that you have while wearing the clothes, not about what you
Mhm.
think other people think about it.
Yeah.
So good. So good. Do you have any influences in your life from culture, art, or anything else that shape your style?
Oh my gosh, that's a great question. There are a couple of people in pop culture that I always look to for inspiration. And they're two women that are super chic, but they also are just uniformed to the T. And they are Morgan Stewart. She is from Rich Kids of Beverly Hills. She's a host, or was a host, on E! News. She's just somebody I've followed on social media forever, and her style is impeccable. It's so well tailored. It's jeans, pumps, and a top. And she's just so chic. Her haircut is exactly like yours, like
Oh,
identical.
oh,
And it's just like so effortless. And she, to me, just gives me the chicest vibes. And then the other person that I always look to is Victoria Beckham. So random, Posh Spice. But her style has evolved so much from the Wags days where she was wearing, her big Versace sunglasses and her bedazzled jeans, to now being so elevated and elegant and chic, especially as she's gotten older. And one of the things that I've really liked to see from her is, as her sons have gotten older, one of them's married now to this hot young thing, Nicola Peltz Beckham, I think is her name. And it's like she's the new generation, right? She's the one that's like wearing the skimpier outfits and experimenting a little bit more with fashion. And Victoria still holds her own in, that dynamic, and is so polished. She doesn't need to be loud about her style. It's so restrained, so well tailored, by the way. And she's letting kind of the next generation shine, but she hasn't lost her chicness. So I've really been looking to her as just a really great example of aging gracefully, but not losing your style or compromising on looking chic.
yeah. Oh, so great. I love that.
It's a good question.
Yeah, I mean, everyone has their different viewpoints and influences from what they see in the world. So I always find that so interesting. Amber, what are some of your top old money tips?
I love that. Do we want to go fashion, or do we want to go money, or do we want to blend the two?
Let's see a blend.
Okay, I love that. Okay, top old money tips. First and foremost, have to say this at the top, it's the new rules of old money. Like, we know that things have changed. We're not waking up with a trust fund. We're also not hoping anybody's going to come save us. So it's about being in a growth mindset, adaptable, looking for new opportunities. And I think that also pairs very well into style, as we experiment with style and what feels good to us and trying on new things. So for me, that means letting go of, and I actually really had a moment this weekend, like skinny jeans. I'm a millennial, and I was trying, we had just came back from a trip, had nothing clean to wear. And all I had was a pair of old skinny jeans with boots. And I was like, I feel weird now. Like, this doesn't fit me anymore. It's time to retire them. I'm not going to get rid of them. I save all my clothes because it'll come back again.
Yeah.
But but really allowing ourselves to evolve, to stay, current in what's going on. So the same ideas still are at play, and there's a lot of classic things out there. I always go back to Audrey Hepburn as a style icon. You could wear what she wore in the 60s and look just as chic today. But anyway, new rules to old money means that we have a growth mindset. We're looking for new opportunities, and we're willing to try new things, which I love. And
Fabulous.
then the second thing that I would say as an old money tip is the way that I look at my money whenever I'm spending it, and I'm saying that in quotes. I don't spend money anymore. This is like how I talk to myself about money. I don't spend money anymore. I only invest my money. Even if I'm exchanging it for groceries, I'm investing in quality food for myself. When I am spending it on a new blazer, I'm investing in a piece for my wardrobe. When I'm going to get my hair done, I'm investing in the health of my hair. I'm always looking at what the ROI is on anything that I put my money towards. So that could be a business expense, it could be a vacation, it could be something for my home. Is it going to make it beautiful? Is it going to give me joy and value? What is the return on this investment? So it doesn't even matter if it's a coffee. I'm always thinking about the way that I spend my money in terms of the return that it gives to me. And that does a couple things. Number one, it totally takes the shake out of the scare of spending, right? Like if you know you're going to get a return on something, as long as it's within budget, and you can think about this as cost per wear, or you can think about this in the joy that it will bring you or somebody else, or even the caffeine boost to get you through the day, whatever it is that you need. You can really, spend with confidence. But also it helps me monitor my spending. If I'm buying something that's fast fashion because I feel like I need a shirt to wear tonight, and I'm thinking, am I going to use this more than once? Is this something that's going to return a really positive investment for me? I'm much more apt to step away from it and not spend on something that's a quick fix and look for another alternative. So that is how I spend my money, is I frame it all as investments. And I think that works across the board in finance and in fashion.
Wow, that's awesome. I love all of that. So tell us a little bit more about your ring.
Yeah, the ring process was really interesting. One of the things I always say to our rich girls on the Old Money podcast is that we get to be in control of our lives, meaning like we're not passive participants. When I knew, like Justin and I knew very early in our relationship that we wanted to be together. So when we started to talk about engagement, I said, great, let me give you lots of inspiration.
Here it
And here's all of the pictures that I love.
is.
And what's interesting about that, and you're a designer, I work in design, like brand design. So
Mhm.
I pick up on these details and these different elements of things that, that's a mark of a good designer, is you can like articulate why you like things or what the differences are between choice A and choice B, right?
Mhm.
And my beautiful fiance, he's an attorney. He has no idea. He's like, okay,
Yeah.
looks good. I don't know what that means. And so I was really blessed because we have such open communication about everything. I wasn't waiting to be surprised with the ring and then be disappointed. I was like, how
Mhm.
can I be involved in this, but also honor his want to surprise me? So we kind of did a tag team thing where we went to the jeweler that we wanted to work with. And we looked at a bunch of different rings. And I said, here are some of the specifications that I'd like, including having, an antiqued or brushed gold instead of shiny gold. And I love a classic silhouette, but how can we make it modern? Or what are the details, like the basket or the band or all these different things? Like, what are the options here? And then I gave my preferences directly to the design team. Justin went on his own to pick the stone. And then
Mhm.
he managed the process. And for anybody who's ever had a fiance build a ring, it can be a very stressful process. And you're looking at CAD drawings and those don't look good. And you're like, is this how I
Yeah.
want it to be? And
Yeah.
so he was, efforting through that process with the design team because it was something out of his comfort zone. And he ended up doing such a great job. But I also felt really confident the whole time that I was going to get what I really loved, which is what Justin wanted for me. And it's something that I'm just so excited and proud to wear. It's absolutely beautiful. So we had a really good collaboration on that.
Oh my gosh, that's so good. That has become the normal for
Yeah.
women to be involved in that process. It's such a big purchase. Like, yeah,
Yeah.
that makes total sense. I personally was not involved in the ring process at all, but I ended up loving what I got, but it was like total surprise for me. But that's so good. I love when you can get exactly what you wanted. That makes
I
so much
love that.
sense.
Well, I'm also a little bit of a control freak, Sarah. So I wasn't going to let him go on
Yeah.
his own.
Yep, yep. We need to reel this in. Yes.
100%. I
I
love
love
it.
it. So thank you so much, Amber, for joining us today and sharing old money insights into the world of fashion and personal style. I encourage listeners to follow Amber on social media at Old Money Podcast. And of course, be sure to listen to her podcast, Old Money. And then a reminder to listeners to subscribe to the Dressing Up podcast for more episodes. Follow along at Sarah Close Designs. And don't forget to subscribe, rate, and review the podcast. Thank you so much, Amber. I so appreciate you being here with us today, and I'm excited to see where your journey takes you.
Thank you so much for having me, Sarah. This was so fun. Thank you. Thank you.
Yay. Thanks so much. Thank you so much for listening. I hope this episode has allowed you to approach the world with greater confidence in your own personal style. If you have any questions at all, feel free to reach out through email or the inquiry form on the website. I hope you are all ready to go and get dressed up. I look forward to sharing more dressing up tips with you in future episodes. Thanks so much.